Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome to another week, another episode of the Medicine Ball Podcast. You could have chosen to spend your time anywhere. You rock with me today. Thank you. I never take that lightly. Before we get into it, let my beat drop. Yes, that's right. Welcome to Medicine Ball with your boy LS3 to be exact. And if you ain't in shape, at least your brain should be. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Medicine Ball Podcast, where we focus on giving your brain a six-pack by exercising your mind. Now, exercising your mind means that you actively think about and deal with all situations by first seeking to do anything other than what you are normally programmed and or comfortable in doing. Now, if you're someone who struggles and wants to get better at thinking about things beforehand, as opposed to reacting in ways that require less effort, well, just like anything you want to get better at, it does require training, practice, and work. Now, I'm well aware that thinking about things beforehand as opposed to responding off instinct does require effort. And who doesn't prefer things that are easy? Well, the first step, my friends, can be very easy, and that's to begin to look at all things from an unbiased point of view, which in itself will increase your curiosity in life. Now, exercising your mind won't give you all the answers. You will, however, begin to look at things with more peace, understanding, and patience, while simultaneously equipping yourself with more tools and strategies to help you effectively deal with this thing called life. Now, before we go any further, I'm no doctor, no psychiatrist, no psychologist. I have, however, been diagnosed with bipolar disorder level 1 for 16 years. And to be honest, I got to a point in my life where I was looking at the person I was becoming versus the person I wanted to be. And that, among other things, required me to look at my mental health responsibly. So whether or not you're diagnosed or know someone who's diagnosed or have symptoms or just want to know more about it, it doesn't matter. Maybe you're one of the many people who could just use some tips, tricks, and different ideas to help you get through day-to-day life. Pull up a seat, kick up your feet. This is your family, man. Welcome home, no judgment zone. This week's episode 402, something new there. Episode 402. 4. That's right. I know it sounds crazy. Let's get into it. Okay. I'm so excited now when I'm well, it's only been 2 so far, but coming into these episodes, because just the things that I've been to, I talked about last episode how a lot of my seasons and themes are reflection of my life in a lot of way, but I told y'all the content I felt was going to be very interesting. So with no further ado, I'm going to keep the intro a little bit basic. I'm not going to go into a lot about the website and what's going on with that. However, I will plug the locations. It's www.medicineballls3.com. My social medias, Medicine Ball LS3. That's the Facebook group, the Instagram, all that good stuff, man. Y'all go follow that, all right? Oh, and I do have an announcement about the followers, about my followers, my Instagram followers, and my goals, and an announcement and more so of a thank you for reaching a certain number. So I will be posting that on my Instagram coming up here this week. Now, with all of that being said, let me just piggyback off of that. Yo, you can tell I be in management meetings and stuff. I can tell I always be on the piggybacking, but it's more so for me a placeholder so I can stay in a line. But Right about now, right through this little section here, I don't know, but I'm just letting y'all know, because if you're a newer listener or if you're somebody who's listened for a while, long story short, man, if you want like the most up-to-date current information and like what's going on in my life and the Medicine Ball things personal wise and just with the brand and the content, I'm not even gonna lie, the podcast episodes is probably gonna be the quickest, most efficient way for me to broadcast everything. All right, now double piggybacking off of that, right? I know I am still in the attempt, and I'm very aware, or I've passed the realization that like anything in life, you cannot do everything yourself. Like you don't have enough energy, you don't have enough time, you don't have enough reason. Not by yourself. Like even if you saying that, man, you calling your mother or something, whatever. So a lot of the things that I have going on when it comes to posting, and this is gonna go right into this episode and me being transparent and whatnot, I realize, and it's for most people, that we have unreasonable expectations of ourselves. And I know for me personally, it's not until like I sit down and write something out or really like look at it unbiasedly and logically, keyword, that I realized, like, bro, like, you can't do all of this by yourself. So with that, you guys are gonna be able to see me trying to make things more efficient, more effective. I will still make myself more available, to the website, to the newsletter and all of that. But right now I want to focus on where a majority of my attention is coming from, which is my Facebook group and my Instagram page, and just, continue to build from there. Video and all that good stuff is coming, but like, to my people who edit and all that good, it's tedious. All right. And last but not least, episode 402. As you can see that I have taken the seasons out. Moment of transparency, right? Mr. Medicine Ball. Man, it took me a minute to realize, like, when I see something that say like episode 402, I'll be like, man, this dude got 402 episodes. Now that's possible, but most of the time it's because it's season 4, episode 2. Thus, when I do season 5, God willing, they will all be like, the first episode will be 501. So I wanted to point that out. Now, this is the episode 402, and it's 4. F-O-U-R. So with that being said, after I wrote some of this stuff down, I figured I would go through, right? And I wanted to give this little disclaimer, a typical day of LS3, or just me as a human, within the medicine ball thing. Well, I'm always medicine ball because, you're always thinking, but just like fully transparent. Now, I'm trying not to get too detailed because there's difference between like weekdays and like, for me, a Saturday and a Sunday, right? It matters because I do things different on those days. But with me, I think this is perfect for me to just run through a day. Now, before I get into it, this is the important part for specifically the people who may be new, right? If you've rocked with me and seen my growth personally or just on the show, it's going to make sense, and you'll see a lot of the stuff that I've talked about, how I imported it into my daily life and routine. But if you newer and, because I'm still getting traffic, right? This is not for those of you in the peanut gallery, that, right? You might be in shape, but your brain might not be, unless you've done some self-awareness and so forth and so on. Like, the techniques and the stuff that I'm going to say is going to sound maybe odd to people or just like everywhere, but you have to realize, like the intro says, I am diagnosed with bipolar and anxiety, and that comes with racing thoughts, depression, and things of that nature. As always, man, I'm always trying to, get the end task or the end goal accomplished with the least amount of stress. All right, so let's get into it. Right. All right, so my phone goes on Do Not Disturb Monday through Friday until it probably goes on at probably like 2:30 or 3 a.m. in the morning until probably like 6:30 or 7 a.m., right? We're going to do a weekday, right? So immediately when I open my eyes, and it could be anywhere from 8 a.m. up until like at the latest 9:45, right? When I open my eyes, because at this point, Do Not Disturb is off. I've already gotten text message. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, man. And I have just made a habit, pattern, hint, hint. Pay attention to some of the things you see reoccurring. Man, I got to roll over. Me being a manager, y'all can go listen to other episodes for more details on that. I have 2 males on my team and like 13 females, right? I done already caught like 7 or 8 text messages from the people on my team about who knows what. Like, no cap. Like, literally, like 2 days ago, somebody texted me at 3:30 a.m. And if y'all know me, empathy, blah, 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 I'm not even going to get into that, right? So I already done got a bunch of text messages, and depending on what my team is on, man, it could be like, no lie, like 15 vibrations. So I got to roll straight over, grab my phone, skip right past the text message notifications, and go to the Bible app. I kid y'all not. Go to the Bible app. Bare minimum, I'm getting the verse of the day in is right there. It's an easy click, but I always have anywhere from 2 to 5 devotionals going. One of them being the Holy Bible, just reading through the Bible. Like, I always have that going. Every time I complete that, whenever, I just switch the version and I keep it going. So I always hit the verse of the day and at least, a devotional or whatnot, depending on what I'm going through. It's something leadership involved, whatever. Man, I need that because it's the right thing to do, to thank God. But man, because I know when I look at my text message, it's going to be something crazy. I said this to somebody yesterday, and keep that in mind because, oftentimes, and I'm aware of this, again, look at the real important things that I'm better at giving people advice in their life. Most people, I guess, feel like that than I am with mine, but to a deeper level business strategy, right? So, anyway, I get these messages, and being a leader, I'm gonna just keep it real, and I'm not down talking anybody. It is being selfless to the selfish. On paper, my shift is from 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? Side note, podcast is definitely going to be coming later because realization, it's impossible to be in a management because you're not getting off at 8:30 on the dot and get the podcast out by 10. We'll get into that in another episode. Why you don't just pre-record it? Another episode. So anyway, selfless to the selfish. So it's definitely something crazy, man. Like, man, I ain't gonna say it's crazy, but long story short, it's gonna require me going to work way before 12 o'clock, right? Which I already do anyway, but it's just sometimes it be flagrant. Now, mind you, I do have a child. He is 90 pounds, American, and I might be being generous, but Mamba. So I can't even really sleep in because my man gonna get hungry, man. And when he get hungry, and I've realized this, his way to express himself because he has a GPS collar on or whatever, he gonna shake himself because he knows it makes a sound. So like, I'll be awake and I'll hear him get up depending on if he slept in the bed or on that expensive mattress dog bed he should be sleeping on. And he'll shake 2 or 3 times and pace, and I'll finally, after I've read my verse, look at my messages, get on up. So I'm up, straight outside. It's very cold right now in Atlanta, Georgia in the morning. Let him finagle for 30 seconds. And his only goal to go out there is not even to use a restroom, is the end goal, which is it's time to eat. Like, I don't know who he think he is. My man be ready to wake up and eat. So while I'm out there letting him do his thing, I'm looking at my text messages. I'm responding to the people gracefully. Right? Because when you're in management or a leader, bro, you can't have no grumpy morning. So I still have to think my way through each decision. That's another thing to kind of follow. Because I realize I'm real big on this, and the people around me hear me say it all the time, man. If you mentally lazy, right, or you have because it says we average as adults 35,000 decisions a day. Bro, if you mentally lazy on too many of them decisions, you're going to end up with some issues, right? So I still this person maybe being unreasonable or whatever, bro. Like, I still need them to be happy at work and still perform. So it doesn't behoove me to just chump them out or just answer lackadaisical. I always say, hey, good morning. It's hard, bro. But that's why I arm myself with the verse in the scripture of God. And, me personally, I can be annoyed if I don't immediately start looking for joy. And that's why I always laugh and giggle and smile a lot, because I be looking for joy and stuff like that to keep my spirits up, right? So I'm probably laughing at Mamba, who thinks I don't see him sneaking off down the fence or something right there, instead of being grumpy, catching the sun shining on my skin. Now, right now at this time, it's probably like 10-ish, 10:30-ish, between those times. Come on in, break this man his food out, his ration out, whatever. While I'm, doing all that, walking him and doing that, I'm also checking my social media for Medicine Ball, right? I have a reminder app that has like everyday period. And again, I don't want to get too deep into it, but because I know how patterns and routines and habits work, there's like 12 things on there. So those things are specifically, and if you somebody who I talk to about goals, you can hear it, man. Like, I always be like, okay, yeah, you got good intentions, but how you gonna get there? That's a good step. Thinking positive. Excellent. But like, if you don't do strategic moves and take it straight, you're going to look up, you're going to be in the same place. But anyway, I have tasks. So it's specifically like, yo, did you post on Instagram? Now, my definition of post may be different, right? Where I post may be different, but did you post on social media? Cool. Yes. Did you tithe the guy, which I've already hit at this point? Yes. Then I have little tasks that remind me every day. Complain less, right? At this point, I get my first reminder like, yo, did you journal? And then on the work side of it, it's like, yo, now mind you, at this time, I already, like, to be honest with you, now let me pause for a second. 9 times out of 10 on my way to take Mamba outside, I done already, because my work requires me to log in, a specific way. I done already turned that joint on and got it through the first process, right? Boom, cutting it off, caveman tactics, boom, 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 follow me. So now I done fed him, man. I don't need to watch that man eat, man. I just go on upstairs, continue to what I'm doing. Now, at that point, depending on where I'm at with my devotionals, what my mood is like, how I'm feeling, man, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm either gonna go to either more devotionals, or I might throw on some praise music. And it's crazy because I used to think all this stuff in a way was corny, or see my grandmother, great grandmother doing it and be like, why they? But man, I be hitting my little praise music. Or if I'm feeling like I've been equipped properly, I ain't even gonna lie to you. Because music controls a lot, I may listen to something different. Right? So if it's gonna be a rough day, or somebody's like, yo, I need to meet with you or whatever, I ain't gonna lie, I might have to play that Knife Talk by Drake. I gotta feed the streets, you know what I'm saying? I might have to play the Migos to get a little bit of straight and to make sure my mindset right. I might have to play Eye of the Tiger, depending on what happens. Now, mind you, I'm being adaptable. I don't just set my way. I do what needs to be done for me next in order to be most effective with the least amount of stress. Follow me, boom. So I'm marking stuff off. At this point, I'm all the way into my computer. I got stuff I got to do. Yo, did you check your emails? Boom, yes. Did you let your team know what their numbers was? Boom, yes. Yo, check to see the numbers from yesterday. Who you got to highlight? I got certain things I got to do with job. Now, that's just the job aspect. I'm in the office. I got 3 monitors out even now. Now I'm up right now. I got to go put together all of my flyer designs. Make tweaks on that. Hashtag search engine optimizer. Simultaneously, still got my reminders going off my bills. Boom. Oh, yo, you got this bill coming up. Did you pay it? Da-da-da-da. And now, mind you, I get sidetracked in these things. I'm not perfect, but I get back to where I'm going and certain things. So if my phone bill come up and it be like, yo, due in 2 weeks, but I know I just got paid, bro, chances are I'm going to click ding on that joint and go pay that joint right then. Right? Because while I'm going to stress about it, God's blessed me with the money to do it. I'm ahead, diligence, so forth and so on. Follow me, because I know y'all like, dang, this man got all that. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet, right? So now at this point, I'm in front of my computer dealing with medicine ball, emails from work, dealing with my social media. I still got a social life, right? So my girlfriend, I gotta, because I want to, I gotta show her priority, check on her, make sure she's straight. Still dealing with these text messages. Like I said, I got 12 women, bro. Like, I'm just gonna let y'all think, man. I done got everything from somebody's cat is sick to my family dog is sick. I don't know what. I don't even want, because I don't put nothing out there, but it's just like anything you can imagine of all attitudes and personalities, right? Oh, man. Whew, so sorry. So I'm still getting things on it now. At this point, depending on what I did the previous night, it's all about decisions. Less stress. Man, I don't cap. Like, I'm going to do some Spanish and Mandarin each and every day. Right? Because I got, number one, I'm competitive. I see, yo, you dropped out the league. Right? But number two, to exercise my mind. So I do Spanish and Mandarin, and I'm go from one straight to the other one. Number one, whatever I got going on that's stressing me out at that time, if there is, bro, to switch from a keyboard, right, that's in English, which mine at this point has learned, I be in the app, to a Spanish, even if it's simple, then to Mandarin, while you're getting notifications and stuff in English, it's tedious, but for me, I can see in retrospect, and even as telling you guys, like, how it could be very, 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 very beneficial to do that daily. Plus, I don't like getting smoke, and my streak is long, so I'm probably getting some of that in, right? Still getting some social media stuff in, right? I'm human, y'all. I like to play NBA 2K, you know what I mean? I might be taking advantage of what card packs they drop, the free codes, logging in on the app. You ain't got to log in on the game, putting y'all up on the game, going in and putting the codes in on the app so that when I do go back to the game, they're already there. I just got to open the card packs. If you don't understand, that's cool to follow me. Now, I want y'all to all pause and realize this. Yo, music is a passion of mine. It's a desire. And God has blessed me with a level of understanding to where, like, I just can't go in to my music programs, regardless of what it is, and just not be fully engrossed in it and committed to it and looking for the notes and the circle of fifths and all of that. So I have that on my as well on my to-do list either every other day, like do something music related. So there's all kind of apps and stuff I can do for chord progression, melodies, and all of that. And in retrospect, and even sometimes at the time, I realized no matter what frustrating is going on or whatnot, this is a way to pull a mind away from it in ways that will help me later when I can sit down in front of it. I don't have to take 30 minutes to come up with a melody or chord progression because I already know what key I am. Decisions, time management, things like that. I know I'm sloppy in time management. I don't just get good. I take hacks. Keep following me. Y'all keep up with me. So at this time, I'm into my system and I be so far ahead of like, and if somebody on my team listen, because I know a couple of them do, man, I'll be so far ahead of like where I need to be on numbers, who I got to talk to and stuff like that. Like I pull up into our little virtual chat, maybe like 12:05. Now, I don't know what they think, but bruh, I done been there on the computer like an hour and a half, 2 hours before you and done so much stuff, right? Head of the game. Once I do that, y'all, and you will talk about it more in the season, different personalities and stuff, but once I pull up in that virtual chat, because I'm a manager, which again is different when it's virtual, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Oh, can you look at my screen? I need a side chat. Oh, here's this chat here. Hey, what's this person doing over here on the phone? Hey, what's up with this number? Hey, we got a survey from this person. The whole time. Now, that pretty much is nonstop. I ain't even gonna lie to you, from like a bare minimum of 12 until like 6 or 7. Now, during that time, I'm able to get away to let Mamba outside again, because he's my kid, right? And he's like the most biggest distraction. Maybe fill a bone up with some peanut butter or some joint like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, or again, something on my task list, 12 minutes of exercise. Why 12 minutes? I don't know. It's better than a weird looking number, and it makes you pay attention. For me, makes me pay attention to it. So that might mean going outside and literally sprinting or just wrestling with this dude for 10, 12 minutes. I literally got a weeble wobble here in the office. I got resistance bands. I don't beat up on myself. Oh man, you didn't go to the gym and do that. But bro, what can you do? Right? And this is me. If you're in the peanut gallery, you're going to be like, man, that's tedious. I ain't got time to worry about all that, bro. What you trying to get accomplished, man? Because even if I don't get that 12, I'm going to get 6. That's better than 0. All right? Y'all follow me? All right, boom. So from during that time, I got meetings, personalities, right? And when I say personalities, I'm gonna keep it real. Some people on a lot of days with that many people, and it's just rude. Now, it's not to say that they're a bad person. They got their own life going on. And this goes in the bigger of my understanding and adaptation to the situation so that I'm not distracted. Right? That's unstopped, you know what I'm saying? If they feeling cool, man, like I might get eased up on about 5, but it's just like relentless, bro. I literally be like, yo, I'm about to take a 15-minute break. Oh, okay, cool, in the chat, right? Phone call, text message. Okay, I'm back. Hey, what's going on? And I know they don't mean it, but they just don't care, bro. Yo, I'm about to go to a meeting. Okay, cool. Enjoy your meeting. I go in to do that. Just a phone call during the meeting. Hey, I just want to call. Like, I'm in a meeting. Selfless to self. So I have to, and that itself could be a whole episode just breaking down who I got to be stern with at what time. What's our relationship? What am I trying to accomplish? I can't be lazy with that, bro. HR is involved. My job is involved. My numbers are involved. I have to make those decisions effectively, right? So I'm about to wrap up my day because I know this is like interesting enough to carry the podcast if it's a little long. Like I ain't even gonna care, like humbly, like it's just crazy the stuff I go through, right? So I deal with all these personalities, I deal with myself. Long story short, while all this is going on, there's other things that I'm doing, right? Back to the task list. So other than tithing for God, and I'm not Muslim or anything, or even if it doesn't even matter, but it's just like I have 3 times per day plotted out to like pause and pray, right? So a supplication in the morning, and this is after my tithe to God and devotionals. I need it, bro. I ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna snap on somebody. I'm gonna be grumpy. I'm gonna have a headache, bro. I need all the God I can get. I need that. Then I have a adoration prayer where, right, I don't make no requests. I just like praise God, and that might just be me outside with Mamba and I promise you, like, You can't tell me nothing about my relationship with God, man. It be days where I just go outside and that sun hit right between the trees, right on me, right when I need it. Adoration, and just do that, praise him for the things around me, that kind of stuff. And then acts prayer, which is acknowledgement. And I don't want to get too far. Go look it up, right? Take some initiative. But I do an acts prayer. So that's on my task list. And like, I'm aware that, like, bro, you just took 5 minutes to go on NBA 2K to play a card game. You can't just rush no 5-minute prayer. I got time for him. So those are like dedicated 10 to 15 minutes where if I hear my phone interrupt, if I'm going through it, I'm just not going to answer it, period. Distractions from the things that matter. That's a decision. I need that, right? That'd be the same person. I'll be, oh, God, help me with this person, bro. I'm just proactive, right? What else? I'm trying to get y'all some more because I can just make a whole episode on that. So music, about 8:30 is when. So I tell you what I'll do for the sake of this podcast, because it does fit right in. I'm gonna use yesterday as an example. So one of our previous guests, I could use her name, Ariel, a good friend of mine, came by and we were just talking about just like kind of like, you know, some things she was dealing with at work, and she's a very, very cerebral person. So, you know, I know for me personally, I appreciate the conversations I have with those people. Now, the conversation isn't the part I want you guys to focus on. I'm about to give it to you. Real quick, I just ran through all those things in my day, right? Because I'm going to pull this all together. I just ran through all those things in my day. The one thing that you saw me even mention, so you know I don't spend real time on it during the day and in these situations, is me taking a whole bunch of time and energy, spending it on just simply reactions. Let me elaborate. Mamba want to get up and eat, you know, and just whatever. Like, I'm not going to spend 5 minutes or 10 minutes of my day being grumpy because this man wanted to shake his collar for 5 extra minutes of sleep. Let's fast forward. I'm not going to be in a bad mood the entire day, which isn't effective for me, or even spend time thinking about something somebody texts me for an extended period of time. I'm not going to spend too much time on the reaction part, right? Unless it's warranted. Now, if you make 35,000 decisions, man, there's like, it's safe to say it's probably 35,000 possible reactions. You only got so much time and energy each day. And thinking logically of where you want to react and how much energy you want to be put into, and again, this is an estimate, it's probably more for most, your 35,000 decisions is going to, in the long run, have a lot to do with where you end up with whatever your goals or your tasks or your accomplishments are for the day. Because just in layman's terms, man, if you too mentally lazy with these decisions that we make throughout the day, if we spend too much energy in the wrong places on the wrong thing when it comes to these decisions, we're going to either end up accomplished or with more work and end up being frustrated and even more tired. It's redundant. Now, let's go back to this story. So I'm talking to her. This is after I get off. It's cold outside, like 9 to the... Mamba is a baby, bro. Like, man, he's a baby. So I turn around at one point because we're talking out in the driveway, and this man got his nose all up against the window. You know, I have one of the doors where it's like the windows on either side. He in the window looking, his nose up there, blah, 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 blah. So my father's there, right, or at the crib, right? And so I couldn't hear him, but I guess he was making a fuss because me and her was talking for like 30 minutes. Now, mind you, this is everything going on today, but I'm zeroing in on this for just a specific reason. So I'm talking to her about like, and this is another episode, in situations where you're more of a thinker or smarter or more logical than a person, then you shouldn't be using brute force or brute force tactics with your anger and things of that nature, right? I'm getting ready to go inside. I open the door, and my mom's like, man, this man in here whining and making all kind of noise. And he busts through the door, run outside while Ariel's getting in the car. And
Now he outside. It's cold, right? Just even in that moment, I had a couple of things I could have done. I could have yelled at him at that time of night, right? He wasn't gonna like, which I'm already knowing, because I'm thinking still logically, not emotionally. He's still gonna jog around, or I can go about it another way, because yelling at him is not going to make him come towards you. So I might have said something at first, then I chilled, and I eventually got him. And like I said, I ain't no fool, bro. I just grabbed him by his paw. I ain't about to grab you by your collar so you be acting all, because he dramatic, bro. If I drag him by his collar, he go like I'm just choking him to death. If I even touch his collar, I just grab him by the paw. So now at this point, he want to go roll up, so I let him do his little rollover thing and politely let him lay on his back in his 35-degree weather while she backs out of the driveway. Now, there's still a lesson to be learned here. He's a dog, but I don't even know if I talked about it on previous episodes, but like he's bust out the front door. And first of all, first time he got there, he immediately bust the glass, because it's like the glass door and then the regular door. He immediately broke that joint. So I already felt some way from that day on with it coming out my dime of you busting out this front door. So he still got it. Long story short, it's a lesson to be learned. So once she pull off far away, I get up and I run in the house and I close the door. I leave him outside. All right, I'm not about to yell at him. I'm not going to hit him and do all. Why? In public, in my front? No. But I am going to teach a lesson with intelligence. Y'all know what I do? I pick my phone up. I go to my little doorbell app. Hint, hint. Y'all don't try it. With the video. And I proceed to talk trash to this dude for about 15, 20 minutes. I'm sorry, big guy. While I'm looking at his dumb self on this camera, like, yeah, bro, you want to go out there, how it feel? I ain't gonna lie, I left him out there too, because it's like, I'm not gonna beat on you or something, but it's a lesson to be learned. So I just kicked my feet up and just watched this man on my camera, right? Because if he ran off, I was gonna go get him, of course, but he ain't built like that. The man cold. So I just talked trash to him. Lesson learned. Now, let me even explain what I expect from that. I'm not gonna say that he's definitely gonna run out the front door again, right? But in that situation, I can guarantee you he gonna think about it first. It didn't cost a lot of energy. It was a jovial reaction, right? Instead of me getting mad and flipping out, I was able to get a chuckle out of it. Cost him minimal. I ain't had to lay into him with a newspaper or something like that, which I don't even really do with him because he just too big. But in my energy, right? I'm going to chase this man around, bro. I'm going to use your energy again. You want to come outside? Cool. Come on outside, bro. How can I bring this all together with episode 402? 4. Focus on your reaction. Focus on your reaction. Now, if I can for a quick second to bring this together, I'm going to step into my thermodynamics bag, right? With all of these decisions, once you incorporate reactions, long-term effects, things that you may have to address at a later time, it's impossible, even with me and my task list, right? Even now, like, it's late as heck, right? But, bro, I gotta get the podcast done. It's impossible to understand all of this and lack that there is energy involved. So let me step into my thermodynamic bag. So real quick, just a few types of energy, just in case I got some nerds. I'm a nerd too listening. There's potential energy. Energy there is there to be used, right? Then there are reactions, right? And I'm just going to go into it real quick because we're talking about focusing on your reactions. With your life decisions included, reactions all have something to do with either using energy, gaining energy, activation energy. You guys see where I am going with it, right? So they have endogamic reactions, and those are reactions in which the energy needed to start it is higher than the energy that comes out of the result. Let me say that again, endogamic. That means where the energy used to start the reaction is higher than the energy that comes out of the result of the reaction, right? And then there's exogenic reactions. And that's where the opposite. So not much energy used, but the amount of energy and again, we have to really be open-minded, positive energy lessons. But the amount of energy on the back end is gained, is substantial, right? We can talk this in the terms of net and gross or whatever, but layman's terms, and to point what we're talking about, you use energy as you make these decisions, right? Because there is a reaction. A reaction, by definition, is a response to a situation or an event. That's the definition of it. So you're using energy. I'm letting y'all see how this all ties together. You only have so much energy. We only have so much energy. On top of that, the more energy we use throughout the day, right? You can't operate at your best peak or your most efficiency when you're not 100% charged up. So by the time you're making decisions and reacting to things throughout the day, you get halfway through your day, regardless, you still only got 50% of your battery left. And depending on what you use your energy in reacting to these decisions on, man, you're either going to be behind, ahead, or the same. So bringing this all together, because I deal with this daily, just seeing it, just from the people on my team at work, like a major thing that I see that people have subconsciously when it gets down to it is this thing of control. Whether it be control of your circumstances, whether it be control of your life, your bank account, your numbers at work, your relationship status, it's a control thing, right? And I preach this as well to the people on my job. Like, if things aren't going your way, it's very easy to align that with you not having control. And when you feel like overall you don't have control, it turns you into a victim. Because, it gets out of my hands, right? And when you're a victim, very rarely when you're in that, and I'm just talking definition, like none personal, it's hard to even fight back because you spend too much time complaining or pointing out the fact that you're a victim and things are out of your control when you could be using that same energy, right? Because playing the victim is a reaction. Follow me. You could use that same energy to do something about it. And that's why all of this is about focusing on your reaction. You know why? That is the only thing that we can always control. Focus on your reaction because it builds up. Follow me up. If you focus on the thing you control, like, listen, man, I can't tell somebody to say good morning to me before when they text me in the morning asking me about their time card. Like, I can't make somebody do that. Furthermore, me getting bothered by that, like, how is that going to help me? Because the end goal is like, okay, I want your time to be fixed so you will clock in right. You know what I'm saying? Bigger picture. But it's just like, it doesn't help me to take that personal. Focus on your reactions, bro. You can spend 10 minutes being grumpy about that. Now you're going to be grumpy at Mamba because he just catching a stray because this man ready to eat. He done already took a dump while you sitting up here being grumpy at this text message. And so now you wondering why he in your face. He ready to, it just builds. I think I've used this example before. You catch a flat tire on the way to work. During or right after that flat tire, you may talk to your sister, right? Then you may go to work. And of course, and this is us being blind, and this is where medicine ball is meant to get you. You may not see it, but just like, you're not going to perform at your best because depending on how the average person is going to take a bad circumstance at the beginning and ride that all the way through the day. But won't take a good one and ride it through, but that's another story. But anyway, you talk to your family member, your sister after that. You go to work, you don't perform best. You got to come home. Maybe now you got to get an Uber or you're on a spare so you can't drive as fast and you're just exhausted and you've made a bunch of decisions during that time and used a lot of energy. So now it's time to make another decision towards the latter part of your day and you mentally lazy. Man, I had a rough day. You know what? This all started when I talked to my sister. That's how we be. And we don't see it because we've used so much energy. We just human. We had about 30%, so we not operating efficiently. And because we don't challenge that, which is ludicrous, bro, you got a flat tire, you got grumpy about it, you couldn't get over it, you just relating it to your sister. We fall into situations where like we will just accept, yeah, that sounds about right, and go to sleep on that. Not realizing that our sister who we love, I don't know, we might need them to watch the kids, or our mom's birthday's coming up. We need to communicate with them in 2 days. We was mentally lazy, so we ain't think about that. So now we get up the next day and we reach out to them and ask something. But because we went to bed with that predisposed, oh, it was their fault, and was maybe nasty towards them at the end of the day, and totally forget that, now we wonder, like, why she being nasty to me today? Oh, man, we can't meet up and do what needs to be done effectively because I was mentally lazy with this due to my reaction. I rest my case. I hope I don't lose too many people in this episode because we're going to bring it to a wrap. But focus on your reaction. It's the only thing that you can control. It's the only thing you control, and nothing is better than feeling like you have control. When you have control, or feel, even if you don't, a lot of times it's just like about how you're able to make yourself perceive and feel things. When you feel like you have control, it just... two things. Number one, it gives you power, but it also allows you to take more responsibility. Think about it. If you're in control, how can you blame anybody but yourself if you're the one who control it, regardless of what it is? Right? Now, you can get real down on the emotional and technical level. Well, what if... man, just period in the story. You control it, right? Yes or no? Yes? Okay, so if something doesn't work out, who's responsible? It allows you to start taking responsibility, which builds accountability. Focus on your reaction, man. So, episode 402, it's going to come out late. But, even when my computer was updating and I was running errands right after work, like, I could have just been grumpy of it being on late, or do what I did, which is, you know what? I have the app for the podcast and my Google Notes on my phone. I can type and spell check all my stuff on my phone and have it lined up to where I just need the audio when I end. Focus on y'all reaction, all right? Hopefully this was a more helpful episode. We're going to continue next week talking about ED. I know, right? ED, ooh, that's going to be awesome for the search engine optimizers. Yo, this is LS3, man. Follow me on all social media platforms, man. Been through a lot in 2021, this new season, though. I just want to end it a little bit more directly. Stay focused, push forward. And a lot of the time, when we don't see things going our way, I encourage you to look at the amount of effort you're putting in and just try to consistently put in as much effort in whatever you're trying to do, whether it be a job, a relationship, your finances, and whatnot. It doesn't matter if you fail. There's always a lesson. Always a lesson in failure. And once you kind of understand that, and it goes back to a scripture, consider it pure joy when you have many trials. It's a lesson there. As long as you open to it and you focus on your reaction and you're perceptive to it, you're going to learn enough to eventually get to the next level. All right. If nobody's ever told you, I believe in you. Y'all stay up until next week. Y'all support me. Holla at me on all social medias. I'm out. I love y'all. Yeah.